Hello and welcome to another episode of Pipe Bomb Sessions, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god, we are coming off a pretty crazy, and of course, would it be the NFL playoffs if it was not combined with some controversy? You know what I mean? Shoot, a lot of games, a lot of controversy. I feel like I want to start with the most obvious one, the one that everybody was talking about, still is talking about, and of course, the final result of even what happened with the winning team, that is the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills game. My goodness, what a game indeed it was. And shoot, man, do I feel bad for Josh Allen. That man was an emotional mess post game, and rightfully so. The guy really had his best shot, in my opinion, this year of the least amount of competition that he was facing in terms of other big elite quarterbacks. He was the vet going in, the guy who's been to the postseason multiple times, knows what it feels like. And shoot, did it really switch things up on him? And you know, when a great game is happening, it's always upsetting when a third party, the Broncos and the Bills should be deciding this game, not the referees. Like, you're letting them play all game, you're letting a lot of things happen, right? But do we even know what a catch is at this point? We saw the Brandon Cooks play, obviously. We saw McMillan pick it off. It was deemed an interception, of course. But man, that interception was literally the game changer. If Brandon Cooks indeed bobbled it and did not secure that catch, wouldn't that just make it an incomplete, or, at worst, if he caught it and McMillan caught it? I thought we knew this from years ago that, hey, if both the offensive defensive player got their hands on the ball, got possession on it technically, doesn't the winning side always go to the offense? A lot of controversy, a lot of weird things with that game, man. I don't know. I don't know what was going on. I believe, yes, it did look like a bobble a little bit, and he did pick it off. But if you go back and really look at that play, I mean, it really looks like for a good minute that they both have that ball in their hands. And because of that, Brandon Cook should have came down with it. Matt Prater should have been going goddamn out there and kicking a freaking field goal to send Josh Allen to the AFC Championship. Instead, Bo Nix got the opportunity to go down the field in OT on the other side with a little bit of help with some PI calls. And at the end of the day, you got Will Lutz drilling the easy field goal from about 25 yards out, send him to the AFC Championship. I'm sure the Denver Broncos were super excited at the moment. However, boom, as I like to say, karma does strike sometimes, and it wasn't on them, but it does really suck. It does really suck that they are not going to have Bo Nix. Yes, for those of you who somehow have not heard already, Bo Nix is out. We will see him next year, week 1. I believe he's getting surgery tomorrow on his ankle. He broke a bone in his ankle the second to last play of that game, which is insane. I'm hearing second last play. A lot of people say it was a kneel down. It was not the kneel down. It was a little rushing play he did where he slid down. I guess something just cracked. That's very, very unfortunate news. Unfortunate luck for Bo Nix, who, honestly speaking, if he was healthy, we were looking forward to him and his matchup against, well, the next team that I'm talking about, who is going to the AFC title game, the Patriots. Like the New England Patriots. They played a really snowy, it was like a sloppy, it was a really wet, rainy type of game. But at the end of the day, their defense stopped the Houston offense. Their offense got enough on the board to give them the victory. Yeah, it was a lot of help from CJ Stroud. Don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. CJ Stroud definitely helped that team out to with his 4 turnovers in the first half. I don't know what CJ was doing out there, but I don't think that he was doing bad enough to warrant some noise that was happening during the game. Hey, are we going to see Davis Mills come out in the second half? No, we were never going to see Davis Mills come out. Like, what are we talking about? CJ Stroud is the Houston Texans franchise quarterback. Yes, he has not lived up to the expectations of his rookie year, but that does not mean that is still not their guy. Of course, they have a couple years to figure stuff out. Help CJ out. Help fix the O line. That should be number one priority for the Houston Texans come this offseason. Definitely fix that O line and get the young man some kind of protection up front so then he can get some things going. However, that does not discount the Patriots defense in the way they brought pressure, the way they were just intercepting the ball left and right. And man, that Patriots defense did not look bad at all. Of course, granted, playoffs, last two games, you've seen a lot of the Pats defense. They faced a very, very injury riddled Justin Herbert's O line and all that. We know that. They faced a very, very sporadic and erratic at that point CJ Stroud. However, now they face another defense that's honestly, they've been elite and good, but that second half of the season, and we even saw in the Bills game, man, the Broncos, they indeed have some flaws. They are ways that the Broncos can be beaten, and Nix was their guy to keep them in games. However, with Nix out and Jarrett Stidham now lined up to start, I just don't see a way the Denver Broncos can beat the New England Patriots in this championship game. It does not make sense. In my honest opinion, I really think that was it for the Broncos. Once Nix went down, man, it's really hard to look at that team and be like, yes, I have big confidence that they can advance to the Super Bowl. Now, I'm not gonna say that, hey, I'm discounting an already Super Bowl winning head coach in Sean Payton, but I mean, it's just gonna make it hard. Let's say if the Patriots do come out firing and they get, let's say, like 14 on the board pretty early in the game, Stidham just has to keep up. In my honest opinion, he just has to keep up. Maybe that run game's going to come for the Broncos this time. Broncos have not have a horrible run game. I mean, I know it doesn't look great on paper, but their run game is not terrible. Like, their run game is actually pretty solid. They can probably lean on that a little bit. Let Stidham do a little bit of safe, easy passes, but I think at the end of the day, we are going to see Mike Vrabel's led New England Patriots, Drake May, possibly the MVP of the season, go into the Super Bowl for the first time since we seen Tom Brady lead them there. Holy, you already know. You know what I'm saying? Like, goddamn, are the Pats really back, or are they gonna have to face another vet or possibly even another elite defense on the other side of the field? I mean, hey, but I will say I do think the Patriots, they got this. They should be able to take care of business and beat the Broncos. Of course, the Broncos are still at home. That defense is still there. The defense has led the league in sacks. So, hey man, I'm looking forward to this. I want to see if the Broncos can come out and at least make this a little bit competitive. I don't know if they're going to get blown out, but again, if they get down early, I don't know if I see Stidham bringing them in over and over. Hey man, as the 2017 Philadelphia Eagles, they lost Wentz. They had Nick Foles come in. Nick Foles led them all the way down the stretch. That man was literally the Eagles' savior. Question now is Jarrett Stidham going to be the Denver Broncos' savior? You know what? We're going to find out next Sunday. And we're going to see who's really going to advance. Like I said, my money is on indeed the New England Patriots. It just seems like it's a little bit unfortunate. Like I said, I really thought Sean Payton was going to, even make history. Going to the Super Bowl possibly. And from there, if he won it, first head coach to win 2 Super Bowls, 2 different teams. I mean, hey, that's pretty dope. You know what I mean? Like but this injury news is really, really hurtful. I'm sure he's making up a whole bunch of plans to get things going. I want to see what Sean Payton comes out with next week. Of course, we know what the Patriots already are, what kind of team they are. So, as I said, the Patriots should win this game. In my opinion, this is the Patriots game to lose. If they cannot beat the Broncos, I think a lot of noise is still going to come on this Pats team. A lot of people are still not believers of this Patriots team because of course, the schedule they've gone through, and because of the two playoff matchups and the type of teams they face. Now, like, of course, they beat the Broncos, and hey, they beat Jared Stidham Broncos. At the end of the day, soft schedule or not, if they make it and they can win it, it don't matter at the end of the day. Soft schedule, cool. They took advantage of it. I think at the end of the day, that's all that matters, and we'll see the Patriots in the big one again. However, question is, who will they be facing? And this is something I'm thinking about, and I'm just really not sure. Of course, we saw the Saturday night divisional NFC matchup with the Niners going to Seattle, and whew, did Seattle really say, we'll see you guys in the title game, whoever it's going to be between the Bears and the Rams, because they started the game out with a Rashid Shaheed 95-plus yard kickoff return touchdown. They didn't even look back. And man, I feel bad for the Niners a little bit because those injuries really did pile up. They got more injuries coming in that game, getting out of that game. God damn, the Niners were just riddled with injuries all over the place. It is actually pretty insane. However, as much as the Niners were riddled with injuries, we have to really give props to, and you know what? Maybe I am getting a belief in him. The Seattle Seahawks, and of course, led by Sam freaking Darnold, man. Darnold, he's done everything he's been asked for. He came in this offseason, left Minnesota after having a 14-3 record, said, you know what, Vikings, peace out. I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to do the same exact thing. Got a 14-3 record with Seattle. The Seahawks defense, of course, is in all caps elite, man. Shoot. They really run roughshod out there. They are crazy. That Seahawks defense, whew, that's a defense we haven't seen in a long time. And those of you who know what I'm talking about. That is a defense that is going to win them a championship if they get the opportunity. Trust me. Now, the Seattle game was like a massacre, honestly, from the 49ers. Like they got decimated out there. It was pretty bad. But we got to give Seattle a lot of credit, man. They wanted Geno back. Geno didn't want to come back in the offseason. They say, you know what? Okay, we're going to trade you. We're going to go get Darnold. They made a few offseason acquisitions. Of course, the defense has been bolstered up. I think actually getting Cooper Kupp was a big move, and getting Rashid Shaheed in that trade deadline was a great move because that opens up their offense again. And not only offense, now they are not only scoring on offense, they are not only even getting pressure and, playing the best defense. Their special teams is going crazy on people. Like, damn, that's all three levels of football. That is championship caliber team. That they are looking to make a return to the Super Bowl. They've made the return already to the championship game. And they're going to be facing, of course, who else but a familiar face. It's now round 3 between both these teams. And that is, of course, yes, Matt Stafford and the LA Rams. Wow. What a game between the Bears and the Rams. Honestly, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that everybody thought the Bears were going to be going to the title game after the Bears started marching down the field in OT. An unfortunate interception from Caleb Williams changed the momentum. Stafford turned it up late a little bit, made some great throws, including that sideline throw. What a placement by Matt Stafford to freaking Devontae Adams to move that ball up. Mavis comes in, kicks the game winner in OT, sends these guys and the vet to the championship game. Now, don't get me wrong, right? The very very interesting thing is that the Bears, my goodness, has Lady Luck been on their side? But shoot, when Caleb Williams made that insanely crazy bonkers throw to Komet after running backwards about 14, 15 yards, I didn't know we were playing Madden out there. Like, god damn, man. Caleb Williams, I think he has proved himself just a little bit when it came to the off season, the regular season, even this game, man, going against like team led by Stafford, a team with Sean McVay back there. You know, McVay likes to really play this type of chess type of game. And hey, man, the Bears, I think, are gonna be like a lot of people say. Yeah, the Bears, are they gonna be here to stay? I think they're gonna be. I mean, yeah, the Bears team, they put a lot of money into their offense, so now they can go ahead and put some money and effort into that defense. Make that defense a little bit better than what it was already. You got Caleb what he needed. Flip things and get the defense what they need. Give Dennis Allen what he needs. I mean, man, this man Dennis Allen was bringing pressure all night long against Stafford and making him uncomfortable. We know Stafford, pocket passer, he's the one of the best there is. But the way to get Stafford off his game is that pressure and getting him to slightly run around or even, move around in that pocket, and he has to make throws that are not with his feet set. That's a little struggle. Now, what got me a little concerned about the Rams here, though, yes, they've won 2 playoff games. Yes, Stafford and they've hung on, they won the game. But man, fun fact, Stafford's drop back success in this last game against the Bears was 31.8%. 31.8. That is the worst of any game he's had this season. That is not good. His second lowest after that was 41.2. That's a 10% difference. That is crazy. Against the Panthers the week prior, he had his 5th lowest success rate. I don't know if something's going on with Stafford. I don't know if like things or something he's like rattled up. Possibly, and I want to touch on this real quick. Possibly that back injury we heard about before the season started, during season, it could be catching up to Stafford now. The thing is, though, I'm sure Stafford also knows that he needs to just put it together for one more game to get to the Super Bowl and 2 more games to obviously win the Super Bowl and give the Rams a shot. I do believe that the Rams have a shot in this Seattle game. Just like going into that Bears game where I really thought this was a coin flip game where, hey, either team can come out of this and go to the NFC Championship. Of course, it ended up being the more veteran presence, the more, they know they've been there, they know how to get there again. That's Sean McVay and Stafford. Of course, first time since 2021, but Stafford is poised to try to make one more championship and go out on top of possibly even. He has to face a very elite Seahawks defense. Of course, they split it 1-1. Now, the thing is, though, Game 3, we going in to Seattle. Of course, we saw a great game between them last time. And I'm not going to discount the Rams in any sense. This is a divisional game. I get it. Seahawks defense is elite. Seahawks defense can come at you multiple different ways. However, am I really going to think that the Rams are just going to fold over? Probably not. And I know that OT 1-point win is still stinging them. Rams had that game won, truth be told. I mean, before the momentum swing happened with, again, this man. He's the X factor, I'm convinced. Rashid Shaheed, punt return touchdown in that game during the regular season, flipped things around. Now, we get things going one more time where, hey, we're going to come in here, We got this. We know we can beat this team. That's the Rams thing. A lot of people are discounting the Rams because they, for some reason, think that Stafford and the Rams are not going to be able to beat them. I don't know. I don't think the Seahawks wanted to see the Rams coming into the championship game just because of how familiar of an opponent that is. Divisional games are always rocky, are always iffy. But at the end of the day, as close as this one is going to be, I'm going to stay true to what I think is going to happen, and I believe, and I do think if Stafford's back is lingering, if this is his final year, he's going to go out on top. I think not only he's going to beat Seattle in a thriller, don't get me wrong, thriller, but at the same exact time, he's also, I believe, going to most likely win the big one. He's going to be holding up one more championship, one more ring, one more Lombardi trophy. This man, Stafford, is primed to go out on top. Man, there's a lot of things that could go either which way in this game. This game is going to be exciting. This is going to be a good one for sure. As I said, a lot of things can happen, man. I just hope to God neither of these title games are freaking controversial. Please do not let the refs control this game. Like, if you're going to let two teams play it out, let them play it out the whole time. It doesn't make sense. You got to be consistent. Like, look at what happened with, as I mentioned earlier, the Broncos and Bills game, and apparently it's interception, and we had a very similar-ish type play with Devontae Adams catching it, and then the Bears ripped it out, but that was a catch. So, like, the rules cannot change week to week. The rules cannot definitely change game to game at this point. What are we doing? It wasn't even a whole week. It was 24 hours, less than that. What are we doing? What the hell is this? Like, fix up officiating. That might be something that needs to be looked at in the offseason, and we got to get things rolling, right? Now, before I wrap up for the day, I just want to hit some points about some of these head coaching gigs that are getting filled up. Of course, two of them actually. We have John Harbaugh going to the Giants. We had Kevin Stefanski signing with the Atlanta Falcons. And for those of you who have not heard, that is right, Sean McDermott is out. He has been fired from the Buffalo Bills. They no longer have a head coach, and now are also in the market, and they should be a hot commodity because, of course, they have an MVP caliber guy in Josh Allen. You know what I mean? So who's not going to want to coach Josh Allen, in my opinion? I think it's really right there. Let's see what kind of names we see coming into this. You know what I mean? I've heard, like, hey, maybe they even want to talk to Mr. Dabble again for that situation. Now, speaking of repeats, not head coaching, but I guess coordinators come back. The Kansas City Chiefs are requesting to interview EB. Of course, EB, Eric, and I apologize for this, Benimini, to come back, to be like, hey, like, we kinda need you over here, man. And especially because they're probably losing Matt Nagy to a head coaching situation that they're gonna need someone. And obviously, when he was there with Kansas City, that offense looked completely different. You know what I mean? So I think that's gonna be happening. Of course, Mike Tomlin stepped down. Pittsburgh needs a new head coach. Let's see what happens there. That'll be very interesting. And man, I always key in on this, but the Super Bowl defending champs, Philadelphia Eagles, are still going around trying to see who they can really grab. And I'm hearing that now they're going to be interviewing. So I believe they at first wanted, and I think they might still be on the board to interview Matt Shielhace. He's the Rams passing game coordinator, of course. But because the Rams advanced, they're going to need to wait a little bit longer to even start that, right? Now, I believe they've recently requested Bobby Slowick, who was the Dolphins pass game coordinator, for their OC position. Now, Bobby Slowick, of course, it was the guy behind CJ Stroud's amazing rookie year, and of course he got fired after a little bit of a regression in his second year. However, I don't know if that might be a bad opening. I also know they are looking at Zach Robinson, the OC, former OC of the Atlanta Falcons, former OC of the New York Giants, and of course former Eagle Mike Kafka, as well as, and they face this man plenty over the years, Brian Dabble as well. I believe that a lot of interviews are going to come up. This is very interesting. I know the Dolphins are looking at Bills OC Joe Brady for their head coaching spot. That is very interesting. I don't think that's a bad fit at all. And of course, Robert Saleh has been looking at that Ravens position, and I know the Ravens just finished pretty much getting their interview with them, and it looks like the Titans officially have gone down to the last three. Someone's going to be the head coach. It's going to be between the guy I just said, Robert Saleh, a man I named earlier, Matt Nagy, or Jeff Hafley. It's going to be one of these three guys. I mean, Tennessee has that young team. They got a young quarterback. You can mold him into something that you think is fit and good for you. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. But, ladies and gentlemen, overall, give me your thoughts. Give me what you guys thought about the divisional round of the playoffs, man. And who you guys think is going to go to the Super Bowl. Who's going to be representing the NFC and the AFC from either end. Like I said, I mean, I'm looking at possibly a Rams and Patriots Super Bowl here, ladies and gentlemen. And, man, that's going to be something. However, as this season and postseason has gone, anything is possible in this year's NFL football season. Man, a lot of crazy things have happened. I can't wait to see how this season's gonna turn out and end officially. And man, we're in for a ride. We have two prime matchups in the title games next week. As usual, guys, I appreciate you guys listening in. Thank you for all the love. Appreciate the likes and subscribes. Don't forget to keep them coming. And I'll see you guys next week.